Tatsuki Fujimoto is quickly becoming a modern living legend, and we are currently living and experiencing one of the most incredible manga publication runs of all time, starting with Fire Punch to Chainsaw Man, to Look Back and Goodbye Eri, and now to Chainsaw Man Part 2. I personally own every single Fujimoto work that has been published so far, as I think his works have increasingly got better and better with each and every release. Now, in shonen manga, the female characters can very easily be forgotten and not developed throughout the story, as a lot of people like to point to that being a reason why some shonen aren't as good as others. With Fujimoto, though, the female characters really shine through. I mean, they are almost the stars of each of his manga. Of course, in Chainsaw Man, Denji is the main character, but if you really try to think hard about who you see all over TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter, it's Makima and Power who you see the most, and who are almost the biggest representations of this manga. Now, my starting point in Fujimoto manga is of course Chainsaw Man, like it was for a lot of other people, and the female characters do not disappoint whatsoever. Starting out with a female villain in a shonen manga, in my opinion, is a very bold move on Fujimoto's part. It, of course, worked out amazingly, with Makima being the control devil in the story, and of course has the ability to control the characters and manipulate them. But it almost feels like that works in real life too, because I'd argue that the most popular character from the entire series is Makima. She's done so well that she has an incredible alluring aura to her that draws all these fans to her in, one way or another. But Makima is done really, really well, being a standout villain throughout the manga, and I think she was a big part of the Chainsaw Man's success. Then there's Power, who of course is done really, really well, as she subtly develops throughout the story, being the character that didn't like Denji at first, to having her wish him a happy birthday, then, you know. But Power has a fantastic development throughout the story, making her an extremely likable character, as she also has that same alluring aura as Makima, but it's not completely the same. Her character has the ability to have millions of fans across the world love her, as she's done so well and has a very enjoyable personality. Now, with Makima and Power being the main two female characters in the manga, you'd think the other female characters would maybe take a dive in how well they're written. But that is just not the case with Fujimoto. Each and every one of his female characters is surrounded by this aura that draws you to them as a reader. Fujimoto does a great job at making you obsessed with these characters. For example, Himino was a really well done character who had her own regrets and passions, and she really felt like a character who had lived her own life and had her own motives, as well as her dynamic with Aki was amazingly done. All of those amazing things were also accomplished very, very quickly, as she wasn't really a character for a majority of the story. Then you have some other minor characters that I still find myself pretty drawn to and see other people online being obsessed with, such as Kobeni, who has a pretty decent fan base online, as she's not explored too much in the story, but she's done, once again, really well like all the other Chainsaw Man female characters. Then you even have characters like Kwanzi, who I probably said that wrong, having fans, and she was only a character towards the very end. I mean, myself even had a profile picture on Discord for a while as Halloween because I loved her character design and her as a character, even though she was such a small character. Throughout the story, Fujimoto really knows how to make weird, alluring characters so addictive. Now, the first of Fujimoto's two one-shots that he released in the time between Chainsaw Man and Chainsaw Man Part 2, Look Back has a cast of two female characters who are friends since elementary school. As both the characters and the story for Look Back are done so well, with a psychological and one-shot manga creating legend Ino Asano praising Look Back and calling it incredible. When it first came out, it really was incredible. Look Back is a classic in my eyes and one of my favorite manga that came out during 2021. Both characters do an amazing job of representing the meaning of the story, and I highly recommend, if you haven't checked out either of his one-shots, that you go and do so. Now, Goodbye Eri is yet again another example of his genius female characters. Eri is an amazing side character throughout the story and fills her role brilliantly. His one-shot female characters are amazing and draw you in differently from his characters in Chainsaw Man. They play a similar but different role, taking the main stage and main character role in some of these manga. Now, Chainsaw Man Part 2, as I talked about it in my top 5 Shonen Jump manga video that came out recently, I have been loving Chainsaw Man Part 2 and the work he's been putting into turning Asa into the main character of the story and having Denji kind of take a back seat this time. I think Asa is done extremely well, as well as the War Devil. I think both characters give a unique part to the story of Chainsaw Man, as Asa has very quickly become one of my favorite characters in Chainsaw Man as a whole. As well as the fact that Asa has a very different personality than his other female characters from Part 1. She's almost done in a way that's supposed to repel instead of draw in, which in turn makes you more interested and drawn into her character. For those reasons are why I love her so much as a character, and as the main character, which it seems like she will be going forward for Part 2. With that being said, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below with your opinion on Fujimoto's female characters, as I'd love to hear them. Make sure to hit that notification bell to never miss another upload, as well as check out some of my other socials linked in the description down below. Be sure to check out one of the videos popping up on screen right about now. But with that said, as always, thanks for watching. Peace.